oh my gosh, the champ.
Yeah, the champ. And a great caster. Higher finesse.
2-time. Into this game, though, game 1 still in best-of-5 territory for these Phase 2 pools, and I would not expect these two to play in the Phase 1 pool, so.
No.
Already many wins under the belt here for these two already this weekend. Just trying to make another and probably a first big name.
All right, Mr. E got some really solid spacing, recognizes that Cloud's sword is just about as disjointed, so he's got to try to either do like those retreating nairs and kind of like falling away if something doesn't confirm. Right now, he's actually completely untouched against Ned, and Ned is forced to burn limit coming back to the stage. So Ned gonna have to wake up a little bit here. This is looking really solid for Mr. E at the start.
And I feel like this kind of start could happen for either side as Ned finally puts some percent on the board here. Once you get an advantage flowing from the, the 0 to 70 range on either character, it just opens up the floodgates too. So this is not, uncommon for this matchup. You can just get exposed on either side. The hesitation, we are barely snapping it back. Great use of the cross slash.
Yeah, truly just barely able to make it back to the stage here. Limit is about to be on deck. That could be a difference maker, but Ned so far has just really struggled to make any big neutral wins here.
Give me that chase down. Maybe find a grounded finishing touch here. Not going to be the case, though. The fall through platform up air will seal out that stock. Ned finally got some percent online. Seems to have woken up as you were requesting, side.
I did ask. And I did not ask nicely. I asked. I was like, yo, Ned, we
need you here.
We need you, bro. Oh, nice parry from Mr. E. Just looking really solid. Every single thing that he's throwing out feels just virtually unpunishable for the most part. His spacing is just really on point.
Limit online. You see the shield breaker coming in through just to make sure Ned is not comfortable just standing there safely. Ooh, oh, the counter.
Okay, maybe was expecting to see possibly like a limit neutral B or something of that sort, but either way, just slowly fighting his way back to center stage. Ned retaliating with that F tilt though. His ledge trapping has been looking really solid.
Yeah,
I will give him that. Nice.
Ooh, really good catch there too. Mr. E had the option to just drift below ledge and up beat back or go to ledge, or go to the stage, I should say. Ned found the right option, and the get-up attack going to work out well. Looking for a roll away. He got a huge opener here too. This game is not a dead even.
Yeah, that was so much damage from Ned. Really good stuff there. Mr. E throwing out a side B himself. Not nearly to the same effect as Ned, of course. But yeah, Ned is starting to find those whiff punishes, even from that dashing F tilt, which is, again, pretty safe even on whiff. Ned is starting to figure out where he can pick his shots.
Back air over, gonna have to use limit to get back. Mr. E waiting for a dolphin slash for sure in that shield. Ned's been landing so aggressively, and that's what I was talking about. Ned will just let it fly. Mr. E kind of one to take that aggression and use it against you.
Yeah, what I think Mr. E is doing is he's threatening like he's going to press a button and just waiting for a whiff punish. Cloud is pretty decent on shield, maybe not as good on shield as Lucina, and it's really working out well for Mr. E.
Oh, air dodge might have been called out there too. Ned getting away with one for sure. Forward air down, going to find the spike hitbox for it. Love the shield cross here too. Love that about sorties too. You can get so much drift and approach from such a far away angle. Reverse hit on there will work. Okay.
All right, Ned got the stocks even here. Mr. E waiting out a lot of that limit. Totally understand why. Trying to force Ned to burn it at the recovery, but now got to come back on stage against Limit Cloud and eats the neutral B. Could have been a worse punish, but definitely 20% you don't want to take in this scenario. And
also keeps you at ledge here too, somewhere Ned has absolutely excelled, is even to this point finally getting back on the majority stage behind Mr. E. Reverse the situations though to see how Mr. E can dole out this pain. Not getting too aggressive though, didn't even jump with Cloud as coming off the ledge.
I'm kind of curious if we'll start to see, well, we won't see it this match, but I'm kind of curious if we'll start to see from Mr. E maybe a little bit of that shield breaker. It looks like Ned is trying to get like out of shield punishes a lot, maybe a lot of up Bs, but if Mr. E starts to sneak in that neutral B as well, things get really disastrous. I love the way that he's playing though. He's definitely like baiting Ned into a lot, and it just seems like he's just one step ahead of Ned right now.
100%, my friend. Wonder if we'll see a switch out of Ned. People are clamoring for the Sephiroth maybe. Cloud was looking extremely good. Once the flow state was reached with the character, it was absolutely flying, and I do not disagree with staying on. Just kind of, you can't let the game get away from you that early and have to play catch-up, which we did well, but you get a lead built up in that early portion, could be a much easier life.
Yeah, honestly, he might want to start trying to focus on like throws a little bit more. Mr. E has been shielding pretty comfortably, a lot of these like falling aerials. So maybe start running up and just like baiting out some grabs and just like conditioning him on that front, possibly. But Ned does have a pretty solid amount of damage right there, getting that bear into dash attack. And they both have assist characters. They haven't come in yet, but they have Mortal Kombat cameos. If you look at the top of the screen there, I don't know when Pac is going to come out and do something, but who knows? Okay, okay, all right, we're back to singles. We're back to singles. They said, you have not seen enough doubles today. We need more
You thought
doubles.
it was over.
I thought
we
it was
have more
over.
doubles. Never mind. Doesn't need to call the assist in there, too. Ned perfectly catching that landing. Stuck in shield there, too. Has to eat all these tilts. Well-spaced forward, but that down tilt. Perfect reaction from Mr. E. Dolphin Slash out once again.
Ooh.
Second time's not the charm, but not going to eat anything for it, so call it a blessing.
Yeah, a little bit of desperation from Mr. E side right there with those up Bs. Ned not looking too bad, just shy of 100, but we do have Limit on deck. Limit side B is a ton of damage. He's going to throw that neutral B. Obviously, Mr. E going to hold that shield to make sure those multi-hits don't come through. But yeah, he's looking pretty solid.
Ooh,
Mr. E is
away.
really looking for these Dolphin Slashes.
That Dolphin Slash to that left side platform away was actually crazy because you're able to land with just enough time to get back.
He is committed to them, though.
Yeah, run that. Beautiful option. It's probably a top 5 out of shield option in the game. Oh, down tilt, Ned getting shifty. These parries from both players have been insane.
Yeah, they're so good at calling out these landing aerials. Dolphin Slash, at this point, is probably just a little bit stale, and just stale enough for Ned to survive that interaction. All right, Ned is really heating up here, 156%, but full rage and limit. Mr. E has to be careful, finds the back air, of course. We've seen a back air criminally underrated when we talk about, like, crazy back airs in this game.
Oh, waiting for it. Thought the air dodge might come in towards that ledge there. Mr. E's smart to just opt for the real estate. And this is the lead I was talking about here, too. Ned able to play so much more comfortably when we had this percent lead, this potential stock lead coming up very soon. And just forces Mr. E to play not that patient game plan we saw worked so well in Game 1.
Yeah, I feel like Mr. E's game plan looks really good when he has a lead, but it is not nearly as effective when he's trying to claw something back. Because if Ned isn't taking the bait, then it's just, slowly dwindling. He's catching these back airs, he's catching these up Bs out of shield, and he's just kind of forced to scramble a little bit. That's probably why we saw so many Dolphin Slashes in the previous stop.
Pressuring the shield heavily here, too. Might see a cross slash rip on it if the shield health is regenerated by this time. Yeah, no use on limit.
Beautiful.
Phenomenal position by Mr. E. Got to strike while Aaron's hot, and we did it while it was absolutely blazing there.
Yeah, that was an enormous play. And now he's still got all this rage here. Potentially yet another Gimp if Ned isn't careful. Because Mr. E is on the hunt.
That forward tilt was crazy.
Ooh, I thought he was on Dolphin Slash.
So close, yeah. Dolphin Slash out, he dies for it, but Ned dies too. That would have been the craziest timeline.
Would have been absolutely godlike. But
the short hop forward air into F tilt is literally the Mr. E special.
yeah, and it looks so hard for Ned to deal with right
Yeah.
now. He just doesn't know when he can actually go in and get something going. It's insane to me how big of a lead Ned had, and it is all but sealed up at this point. Limit going to be burned to come back to the stage. You're at 125%, and the Dolphin Slash on the dash attack. Beautiful work from Mr. E, just really buttoning that game up fast.
Yeah. Turning a dime there as well, too. Got that solid, short hop conversions that we know Mr. E so well for. And ended up sealing out that game in a place that Ned, for the first 50% of that game, was going exactly the way that the Cloud would have wanted.
Yeah, it was going really solid, but Mr. E, I think that Gimp just took all the wind out of Ned's sails right there. It just took so much momentum away from him. It was literally a perfect down tilt for Mr. E. So how will Ned try to get his mental back in order here? That's what I want to see.
Cross slash draws first blood here for Ned. Yeah, falling forward airs here too. That reminds me of the Nico classic. I'm just approaching you with these forward airs on your shield. It's so much knockback and stun. Oh, Dancing Blade 1, well, hovering in that short hop. I love that. Reminiscent of some Crom stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Can we get this back air? Not quite just yet, but that tech is not the best position for Ned to be in. And Mr. E's ledge trapping has just been so phenomenal throughout this set. It's looking really good right now. Oh, Ned was looking for that side B off stage.
Oh, trying to catch maybe a high Dolphin Slash. Mr. E conditioning the option out here. No Nair coming out. Nair was working really well in the first 2 games. Ned needs to run that back. Especially for these ledge trap situations where you rise so fast as Lucina.
Oh, the footstool for Mr. E.
Oh,
I forgot.
gosh.
How could I forget? Mr. E is the god of footstools. He invented footstools. Jesus, Ned did not see that coming, and that stock just got snatched from him way earlier than he planned on it.
With a roll in, the spot dodge perfectly timed. Looking for grabs here. A lot of whips coming out. Ned finally finds the upper hand in the scramble. Oh, the jump and air dodge immediately down. Mr. E's playing on fire.
Yeah, Mr. E is just looking incredible right now. Not even looking too threatened from the limit here.
Oh.
Tries to counter it. Does get tagged for that dare. A little bit too crazy on that recovery right there. Ned does not have limit, but he needs something huge to bring this back. Not necessarily from percent, but just momentum from Mr. E.
Oh, dash attack not going to connect. Great DI after it, too. That running forward tilt, I'm telling you, it's the move for Mr. E.
It's so good. And it's so rarely punished. It's literally just, it's just so good. Ned is clawing his way back, though, getting a lot of damage out here. Can he make it back to the stage? Of course, throwing that limit out, but doing an SD, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Looked like a failed Waveland straight out of Melee.
Yeah, worried about the maybe no ledge invincibility there in the corner, Sutu, and just kind of got, analysis paralysis.
Yeah, a little bit of hesitation can cost you a lot in a game like this, especially against somebody like Mr. E. Right now, he's just going insane on this final stock here. Oh, that back air spells disaster for Ned. He can't make it, and Mr. E takes it in a clean 3-0 sweep over Ned.
I don't think I've ever seen Mr. E play this nice.
He's cooking.
No, this might be a Mr. E kind of day, and I can say